Hello. So I don't think anyone was expecting this, nor did anyone ask for this, nor did I plan for this. It's recently been brought to my attention that Cyber Angel has got over 10,000 streams on all... Keep it rolling, let me go turn that air freshener off, hang on. Anyway, so yes, to celebrate Cyber Angel getting over 10,000 streams on all platforms, across all platforms, I didn't really know what to do for a celebration, but then I was really inspired by Naomi Smalls on YouTube and her new endeavour into YouTube and going into drag and her looks and stuff, and it gave me an idea of, I feel like I've come quite far in my drag. I'm in a position now where I can confidently look back at some of the looks that I did starting out and be like, that bitch is ugly. Because my drag has changed so much. I feel like over the last 5 years, which is crazy that I've been doing drag over 5 years now, like that's kind of insane. So to anyone that has streamed Cyber Angel, and to anyone that has promoted it, and anyone that has played it in the club, and anyone that has just even messaged me to be like, girl, that's sick, like, thank you so much. So, cheers to Cyber Angel, and let's read some looks. I thought it would be fun to go through some archived posts. These are archived for a reason. Let's start with the first drag post that I ever put up. So this is the first... I'm not entirely sure what the vibe was. My face is like so white. Like I look like a spectre. Shout out to my friends Beth and Tierney who came with me to take these photos in the middle of a mall, like in the middle of the night. I had been like on a whim, girls, I really want to do drag, like I really want to, like I feel like this is my calling, I'm really passionate about this, and they were like, absolutely, like let's go out and take pictures. That's all Tierney's clothes that I'm wearing, like the way that I blurred out the tights because they were so fucking ripped in the back. I think I was trying to go for like a Pokemon trainer kind of thing. I'm in flat Converse shoes, which that's kind of crazy. There's not really much to say about it. That wig is definitely from, I think it was before things like Shein, and at least I was aware of like stuff like AliExpress. So this wig I think is actually from wish.com, if that's a thing. Was that a thing, Wish? Do you remember Wish? You can tell it's a Wish wig because when I got the wig, you can't really see these pictures, but the reason why I'm wearing a hat is because it was literally bald on top. I'm not proud of it, but I'm proud of the nerve, because it do take nerve. So shout out to Tierney for doing this photo again. I don't know how I blagged my friends to do this. The caption is, enjoy the refreshing taste of Coke. That's talcum powder on my mum's bath, because obviously I wasn't doing Coke on camera. And as it goes on, it gets progressively worse. And I don't know what possessed me to take these photographs, and I really don't know what convinced Tierney to go along with this, because this is insane, like this is insanity.
So like obviously when you have the full film, when you zoom in or whatever, it'll probably look fine. But you know what I mean? You can see like the light bounces off at sometimes.
Maybe the ones that are higher contrast
yeah.
in the pictures, I see.
So I just zoom in just so you can see a little bit higher.
I don't need to zoom into that. This was a choice. I don't really know what was going through my head. There was no inspiration besides me trying to be like edgy. I think I'd just broken up with my first boyfriend, so I was trying to be like, oh, I'm alternative, he's gonna see these and be like, whoa, what a cool chick, and actually that's just a fucking man in a wig with talcum powder on his nose. Okay, so, this is an, the wig, please. I have so much eyeshadow underneath my eyes. Anyway, I would wear just my boy clothes in drag because I didn't have any drag clothes. That's why the first time I ever did drag, that's why I borrowed my friend's clothes, because I didn't have any. I can't believe people actually like this. Who commented on this? Hashtag gay, hashtag UK drag. Some things never change. Okay, so this is when I went to university. This was my friend Beth, another friend called Beth, not the same one who took the first ones. This is Beth Moore. Again, I blagged her to take these pictures of me. I'm starting to see a little bit more of like effort being put in. I've bought a, well, not bought a dress, that's definitely my mum's dress. I've got a little flower crown in my hair to try and hide the hard front wig. There's a bit more effort into these pictures. Like I feel like it's definitely getting there. Like, it's not getting there at all. I'm really being like generous here. Like this is ridiculous. Like there's not a stitch of makeup on my face. Like I literally have a lash on and that's it. But this was when I went to uni. And took my drag there with me, and I was like, I'm gonna move away when I go to uni and I'm gonna do drag and I'm gonna get a job in drag and it's just gonna be like perfect overnight. And that's definitely not what happened. I got there in the end, but this was not that time. So this was the first time that I had professional photos done, where my friend Oliver from uni, he agreed to take some photos of me in a abandoned uni building in the bathroom. The inspiration for these were, oh my god. I'm literally stunned into silence. I look like a meth addict. The inspiration for this was at the time, and for those of you that don't know where my drag name came from, obviously Poor Spice, Spice Girls, blah blah blah, whatever, you get it. But the poor part came from, because I have no money, that was like partly it. So I was like, oh, I'll be like Poor Spice, and then when I don't have any money, like that will be like my gimmick. And like when I come out in clothes that are like shit, people can't read me because I'll be like, oh, like it's part of my brand, like it's, you just don't get it, it's my drag, don't read my drag. All drag is valid, not all drag is good, and I, like, this drag is not good. The inspiration for these pictures was from an artist, I don't even know if they're still a thing anymore, called Too Poor. You can see I tagged them in the caption there. They dated briefly, I think, an artist called Little Peep, who I was like obsessed with at the time. And when I found out that he had a girlfriend that was kind of like alternative, I was like, that's who's gonna inspire my drag. But like, bless Oliver, like he did like his best. Like these photos are actually really nice, like he really did a good job. It's just unfortunate that the person that he was photographing didn't live up to the level of photographs that were being taken. I also don't know why I have this fuck-ass belt on my waist. I look like Miss Crunchball. Anyway, swiftly moving on. So this, I think, is this 2019. No, this is still 2018. But this is the end of 2018, so you're seeing the progression from the beginning of the year to the end. This was when I started to take drag a little bit more This doesn't look like I took drag any more seriously, but this is when I really started coming up with like concepts. So I think I like did a swipe here. It was based off of the girl from, do you remember this?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, you look just like her.
So I remember like being really inspired by like cartoons and that being like my kind of vibe, and so I was like trying to go off of things, I don't know, that like I enjoyed as a kid. So this was, I can't actually remember what her name was in the show, do you know? I know it's from the Thornberries,
Yeah.
but I don't know what her name
She's
was.
baddie though.
And I remember specifically this wig was, I don't know how or why she gave it to me, but someone that I was friends with in university, she gave me the wig and said that she didn't want it anymore, and I don't know why she even had the wig in the first place, but it made its way into my hands. And this was the first ever lace front that I ever had, so I felt like I was doing drag. Like, whole thing. And you can see this like kind of continue, like I was doing Conan Kids Next Door. But it's not even that, I like kind of just wore the clothes that they wore and then just threw whatever on my face. Crazy. I'm not even going to talk about this one actually, but I just need this to be like witnessed of like, I look like I'm melting in these pictures. And go. This picture as well is also very special. I look fucked again. Like, I don't know what my obsession was with putting like loads of eyeshadow underneath my eyes and really gaunt cheeks, and where I've like attempted to blur out the lace there. But this was the night I went out on my own for my birthday weekend, and it was the night that I met my drag family, Angel and Cherish, as I'm sure whoever is watching this definitely knows who Angel and Cherish are. And this is what they saw the first night. And I remember meeting them and being like, I was so scared of Cherish when I first met her because she was just like perfect. They saw this and took pity on this and was like, yeah, you can hang with us. Thank God they did, because I feel like, so now moving forward, I feel like you're gonna start seeing like a very slow and gentle, but a definite incline, is that where it goes up? Of how my looks progress, because now Angel and Cherish are in the picture. They were definitely the ones being like, bitch, you need to do this, bitch, you need to do that, you look a mess, you look this, you look that. And thank God they did. Like, if I hadn't have met them, I really don't know what kind of drag I would have been doing, / if I'd have even been doing drag now at all. You meet people in life that I think that you just click with, and they are my chosen family. I love them to death, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have had all the amazing opportunities that drag has brought me, so she thanks you, girls. This poor little thing, you're a real one for taking pity on her. I love you both. So now, after that, we're going to get into the Tiny era, which if any of you are from Borough, Middlesbrough, UTB, Tiny was a gay club that was on Albert Street. Albert Street? That was where I met Angel and Cherish. That's also where I met, they're not my drag family, but I would definitely class them as drag sisters, and Claire for sure is like my drag grandmother. She's like my drag elder, even though she's younger than me. It's like you make sense of that. Oh, and Demi as well. Demi Hollow, shout out. She's the baddest bitch in the game. She needs to come back to drag seriously because she was doing shit in Borough that I'd never seen before. She was like the extended like family member that we would see at like the cookout. So Demi, if you're watching this, love you, bitch. But yeah, we're entering the tiny era of drag. So this is when I was doing like looks that were like, you can tell that like I kind of had more of an idea of like what I wanted to do with drag. I still didn't have the skills to execute what it was that I wanted, but you can see that like I'm getting there. Like I'm definitely getting there, and like the wig is a little bit, it's not good at all actually, but like I'm learning out what lace fronts are. I'm understanding, like experimenting with makeup a little bit more. Pardon me. Yeah, like I was experimenting with different wigs, and then here we are, me and Cherish. This is what I mean when I say I met Cherish and I was like, oh my goodness, you are the prettiest drag queen that I've ever seen in my life. Because look at her next to me. The way that I have my full ear exposed is kind of insane to me. But I remember Cherish being so nice about it and being like, I have so much respect for people that do their own things, and like I had styled this wig, and by that I mean I just put like a flat iron through it. She looked like that and she could have been a bitch to me, and she wasn't. She was like so sweet, and like people that like don't know Cherish, she's just like, I don't know, I love that bitch so much. But this is us in Tiny hosting. That was our gigs. We would do the door, we would do shots. Again, I'm still in my boy clothes though. You can see that like that hasn't changed. I'm still wearing just jumpers and belting them. Oh, this was at John James's. Again, I'm in my boy, that is all my boy clothes. I'm in literally in suit pants, like that's insane. But this is John James, also known as Fat Butcher now. I love John, I love Fat Butcher, like what a fierce. See, this is the thing with me. I don't expect all drag to look like how I do drag, but one thing I do want in drag queens is, or drag entertainers, drag artists, any drag, is that you put effort into it. And John James / Fat Butcher, whatever they do always has a concept, and even though it's not my style of drag that I do, you can tell the bitch puts effort into it, and that to me is the key ingredient to be a successful drag queen or drag artist. And she really exemplifies like classic camp drag to me, and like this is camp drag done right. Like I love Fat Butcher. She reminds me of Divine. She reminds me of the kind of 80s kind of gaudy. So wherever you are, hi fatty. Here we go. So this was the first ever House of Angels photo shoot. This was when we all look wild in this photo. They're gonna kill me for putting these pictures up. But this was our first ever photo shoot, and when we took these photos, I'm literally in my boy boxers. It's interesting. When we took these photos, we were literally like, I don't know, we just vibed really well, we got along really well, and we were like, shall we just like be a trio? Should this be a thing? And it just worked, and like I love them both so much. We all look wild in this photograph. That's my wig that Angel's wearing. She wore it better than me, so I was like, bitch, have it. You can see me and Angel both have the little like clips in our hair, because that was the style at the time. It's really wild looking at us like this, but you know, everything starts somewhere. And this was my solo promo shot. This was for Tiny. We were getting new promo photos taken for the posters at Tiny. And this never actually made it to the poster. I mean, looking at it now, I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense as to why that didn't like make it to the poster, but like, compared to what we saw earlier, this is leaps and bounds ahead of what I was doing. Like, I'm still in my boy clothes. This was when I was doing what I thought Adore Delano was doing at that time, and I was so proud of myself. She's unique. I'm so skinny there as well, that's crazy. I don't know what's going on, but I didn't contour my nose back then. That was something that was different. For no reason other than that I just didn't know how to do it properly, and whenever I did it, it just looked like I got like a Twix bar and gone like that. So I just, instead of learning, I was just like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it, because like I don't need to do it. Oh, here's a fun one. So for the longest time, Angel was obsessed with me not gluing my brows down. She was like, bitch, you need to glue your brows down, you're not doing drag. You need to glue your brows down, you're not doing drag. And for the longest time I was like, I can't glue my brows down, I don't feel confident in doing it, why don't you do my makeup? And so this was Angel doing my makeup. I'm not sure if this was her first time painting someone, but I was thankful for the experience. Let's just say that. I was working this night with her, and I got so many compliments on my makeup, and I was like, maybe I am missing a trick with not gluing my brows down. Maybe like I am ugly, maybe I am like doing things wrong. But needless to say, I haven't gone back to gluing my brows down. It's very, very rare that you would find me in a glued brow, because I just prefer using my natural brows, because I am from the school of Naomi Smalls and Candy Muse of the big arched eyebrow. So, or the big straight block eyebrow. This was a fun experience. I wouldn't do it again though. Oh, so this was Newcastle Pride. You can see the progression in all of our drag here. I don't know why I decided to wear latex or like PVC in, what is this, July weather. I was absolutely sweating my tits off this night. I don't know why I've got the pink sunglasses in my hair. I would definitely take those out if I was going to redo this look again. The thing is that this look isn't bad. It could do with a nail, it could do with an earring, and it could do without those fucking sunglasses. And if you ever go to Pride again, if I ever make my way to a Pride in day drag, I would not wear a thigh-high stiletto boot, because this was what ruined my heels that day, was because I was walking through Pride and I just kept sinking into the fucking grass, because obviously it's my entire body weight on a heel. So I would definitely wear a thick platform shoe if I was to ever do this again. Angel and Cherish look like fierce though. Cherish, again, like Cherish was just leaps and bounds ahead of what I could ever think to achieve, and Angel was just so, Angel even now, like, her looks are so creative, and she just like she has references that like I would never even think to pull from. So here's when I started to like, I think, be a little bit more pussy in my drag. Like, I think I convinced myself that like, okay, drag makeup is not for me, so what can I do? I'm gonna try and look like a woman. Female illusion was kind of like what I was going for. Whether or not I achieved it here is a different story, but I would take this girl over the Pokemon trainer girl from the beginning, because at least this girl knows how to edit a little bit more. I love the belt. I love the like crocodile snakeskin belt. I was doing a Kim Petras number that night, so that's why my hair is in a little bun. The glasses match the look this time. This was Vinegar Strokes from Drag Race UK season 1. And I remember being, is it okay to talk shit? Yeah, it's okay to talk shit. I remember being so pissed off this night because me and Cherish didn't get paid to be there. Cherish was hosting, I performed, neither one of us got paid. Vinegar Strokes came on stage, sang I think like 2 songs, walked around all night in flats, and I remember her being handed an envelope with a wad of money in it that would have covered at least like 2 months rent at where I was living at uni. That was when I realised the power of Drag Race, and now that Drag Race was in the UK, I was like, oh, this is what it's like to be a Rue girl, and local girls get treated like shit. So pay your local drag artist, because I was trying at least. I was there at the gig performing, opening for a Rue girl, and I didn't get paid. Like, this took nerve. Like, I was doing drag. Like, I was out there, I was performing. I shaved my legs, which was wild. I wish I could be a shaved leg diva, but I'm just not that girl because I get really sweaty feet. TMI, but I get really sweaty feet. So whenever I put heels on, I get the worst blisters. Born to be a bare-legged queen, forced to be a tights queen. Okay, so carrying on with the theme of like going into female illusion, like, bitch, this is actually like, I would wear this today. Maybe I would change the shoe actually, that fucking black pointy toe shoe, that's kind of crazy. But the hair was human, I'd lent it from Cherish. It was the first time I didn't even understand what a human hair wig was at that point. All I remember feeling was like, this moves so nice, and I was like this all night in the club, and it was like, I don't know, I just remember feeling so fucking puss. But I stand by this look. I would absolutely wear this dress again. I would absolutely wear it with the fur over the shoulder. I would change the shoe though. So this look has a really funny story as well. I obviously am referencing Marge Simpson. I posted this picture into a forum, it's called Simpsons Ball Posting, and I posted this picture being like, this is my Marge cosplay, and I got death threats. I got people being like, this is disgusting, you're a piece of shit, you need to die, and I never did cosplay again. This was during the time of I like blacked out eyelids, like when I couldn't do I couldn't do eyeshadow properly, so what I would do was just black out my entire eye, which I feel like was a very big trend at the time.
You know what's the craziest thing? Day before your birthday, all that shit kicked off.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, this is on the 3rd of February. My birthday's on the 4th of February, I'm an Aquarius. And yeah, I got death threats on my birthday. So that was insane. Just before the pandemic as well. This was just before the pandemic, so it's like, I really was battling an uphill battle, and I wasn't winning. This was one for the history books in the Poor Spies universe. Oh, this photo is really cute. So this is with, at the time, she was, her drag name was Karma. Her drag name was Karma, and Karma was in Drag Idol. and she was our pick to win because look at her, she was literally pussy. She absolutely outstages me in this picture, like look at her, like she's literally insane. Newcastle, I would say, besides Sheffield, is my second home. I love being in Newcastle. I love being in the northeast. It's where my drag started, and I feel like a part of my drag will always live there. I love this picture. It was such a fun night. We got so fucking drunk. Same night, and Katana, like, you know, look, I love Newcastle drag queens. I love the Newcastle drag scene. There's just so many different types of queens there, and I feel like they're very underrepresented. And when Charitza May, who I remember meeting at Drag Idol the year prior to these pictures, when she got on Drag Race, I was so happy because I was like, finally. Newcastle drag is the fucking tea, and anyone that's never been on a drag night out in Newcastle is missing a ticket because it is so... Some of my best nights out have been in Newcastle, let's just put it that way. I don't remember a lot of them, but I remember them being fucking good. So over lockdown, let's see if I can find a photo to describe lockdown drag. Okay, so this is me recreating the How I'm Feeling Now Charlie XCX album cover. I had my little brother take this at the ripe old age of 4 years ago, so he would have been 12 years old. I was like, stand above me on the bed and just take these pictures of me. I don't even think this is Facetune that much. I think that you can see the pattern of the bed sheets. In lockdown, just lost so much weight because I was depressed, as I'm sure a lot of people were. I would definitely shave my fucking arms. I don't know why I didn't at least even edit that out. And the makeup is kind of getting better. You can kind of see that the makeup is evolving. And this is when I started shaving my brows like a little bit smaller so I could get some more room. It's definitely getting there. Okay, so this is when I moved to Sheffield. This was the first picture that I did with Zoe and my good friend, my Cyber co-founder, Amy/Bambi Smith, and Bronwyn, who lent me some of the clothes that I'm wearing in this picture. So yeah, this is when I definitely had like more concept in drag, and you can see that my makeup is like leaps and bounds ahead. I'm still just blacking out the eye and then doing a crease over that, which isn't really my vibe now, but for the time, when was this? It was 4 years ago, like, this was puss. This was pussy. This was also another one that we did in the new flat. I was surrounded by all the new plants. Do you remember that plant? Oh my god.
Yeah.
I remember Zach hated these plants because they caused us so many problems. We had so many like flies and so many like... They would just die all the time. Whilst they were alive and well, I decided to take advantage. This hair, I styled myself for the first time ever, and this is definitely a hope and a prayer living on in this wig because I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. But it turned out like that is kind of fierce. Like, I'm really happy. I mean, the brows are a bit interesting. They're like really short, and you can tell Gigi Good had just been on Drag Race because I've got the white on my upper lip. Also, fun fact, those nails are edited on. I got Cherish to edit on nails because I was like, oh, I forgot to put nails on. I didn't forget to put nails on, I just didn't put nails on. This was a collab that I had with one of my good friends, Naz, who is now one of the organisers of Manchester Pride. Shout out to Naz if you're watching. We had this idea to do a Yu-Gi-Oh card inspired kind of thing. For those of you that don't know, I'm very into Yu-Gi-Oh. I fear to know or find out how much money I spent on Yu-Gi-Oh during the pandemic, but I have the collection to speak for itself. But this was definitely inspired by the Harpy archetype. This is a drawing on top of my body that Naz did, and like, I think he turned this out. Like, this is so fierce. Like, I remember being mind blown at the time that he could do stuff like this. And the only reason I archived it is because of my fucking face. I don't know what I was doing with the makeup, but my god, this was fierce. Like, I love this collab. I love you, Naz, and you turned it out.
You got the Care Bear one?
Yeah, I do like this picture, but I don't like my makeup in it. Again, it's that classic, like, I blacked out the eye and I just think that like it closes off my eye so much. But this is a really good picture. Again, this was Zoe. It's either Zoe, Zach or Amy that are taking my drag pictures. And this also, all of this era, like this, maybe like from here onwards, is when I met Sam, also known as Lindsay Lohan, and I think because he was friends with so many London drag queens, it was definitely because of Sam that I was like, I need to up my shit, because if I ever meet all of his friends, then I need to be looking good when I meet them. Don't know what the fuck was going on here. So we're kind of coming to a more recent time in my drag. These archive posts aren't from that long ago, and the only reason that I have archived some of them is just because I've not liked the photo that was taken. This is actually a very special night as well, because this was the night I met Artie and Giovanni, who since... Here they are now! Anyway, yeah, this was a very special night because it was the night I met Artie and Giovanni. You know when you just like meet people and they really reminded me of Angel and Cherish, where like when I met them I was like, oh my god, like these people get it, like these people are fierce, we really click. And that's the thing, like in drag I think it's so sometimes hard to make genuine connections with people because it's often surrounded by nightlife, it's often surrounded by like drinking and stuff, and one thing I found like in the last few years of doing drag is that it's hard to actually remain like, get genuine friendships with other queens especially. But Artie and Giovanni, I met them, they came to one of the cybers, they were both so sweet. But even still, looking at this now compared to my mug now, I feel like there's already so much that's changed. I'm gonna end on this photo because this was definitely, I met Adore after idolizing her for so long and I was like, I really want to do drag, I really feel passionate about this, I really have a passion for this, and I'd never really felt like that about anything else in my life at that point. So not to be cheesy and be like, drag saved my life, but like, low-key I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't doing drag. My event Cyber has become a mainstay in the Sheffield queer community and I'm so thankful for that, and I'm so thankful to everyone that I've met along the way in drag. Shout out to the Borough Queens, Skanky, Aria, Keely, Monarchy, all of these divas. They are like, you are turning it in my old stomping ground, and I'm so happy that they have you and Borough has you to be a great representation because you girls are fierce as fuck. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much again for everyone that has streamed Cyber Angel. And shout out to Jordan Windows. I can't believe I've gone through this entire video without giving a shout out to Jordan Windows. That bitch is my bestie, that bitch is my Judy, that bitch is the Liza to my Barbara. Like I love Jordan so much, and it is because of Jordan that I was able to make Cyber Angel, and it was such a fun process, and it was such a dream come true. I've always wanted to be like a pop star. I've always wanted that kind of lifestyle and that kind of fantasy of like having a song. And the fact that I have a song now that has been played in clubs and has been listened to over 10,000 times, and I've seen so much love and so much reception on it, just means the world to me, and it's the entire reason I thought it would be fun to take a trip down memory lane. So shout out to Jordan Windows because you are a fucking real one. By the time this video comes out, I'm hoping that Cyber is still on the way. But if you haven't already, get your tickets for the next Cyber. It is on June 7th and it is celebrating Charlie XCX's new album Brat. Tickets are really limited at the minute, we're really close to selling out, but if you are watching this and you haven't got a ticket yet, go get a fucking ticket whilst they last because they're gonna sell out. And yeah, just thank you to everyone that supported me, and thank you for everyone that supported my drag and put up with the delusion that is Poor Spice and feed into that and help her create what she always knew was on the inside but she couldn't kind of get out at that time. Thank you to Adore Delano for inspiring it all. Okay, bye!